why your power as a chosen one dominates dark forces. Let's start with a truth most people don't even realize: you are far more powerful than you've been led to believe. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet, persistent pull inside you. That sense that you were meant for something greater, that your very existence carries a purpose beyond what the world around you might acknowledge. You're not imagining things, you are a chosen one. Whether you know it yet or not, you were born with a power so immense, so radiant, that it naturally dominates dark forces. But how? Why? And what does it even mean to dominate darkness? That's what we're going to unravel right now. First, let's talk about what it means to be chosen. Being chosen isn't about being special in an egotistical sense. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about responsibility. It's about carrying a light that is so profound, so unique, that it acts as a force of balance in a world where darkness often feels overwhelming. You didn't choose this path because it's easy, your soul chose it because it's necessary. You are here to be a living testament to what it means to rise above fear, to overcome shadows, and to embody the kind of strength that inspires others to do the same. But to truly understand your power, we need to look at what dark forces really are. Darkness isn't some external enemy lurking in the shadows, waiting to attack you. It's not a monster under your bed or an evil force out there. Darkness is a vibration. It's the frequency of fear, doubt, division, and control. It thrives on separation from yourself, from others, and from the divine essence that connects everything. Dark forces aren't powerful because they're inherently strong. They're powerful because they exploit what you've forgotten about yourself. They try to convince you that you're small, limited, and powerless. But here's the secret: the moment you remember who you are, the moment you reconnect with your light, darkness loses all its power over you.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Take a moment and think about this. How many times in your life have you faced something that seemed impossible to overcome? A situation that felt so heavy, so overwhelming, that you thought it might break you. And yet, here you are. You didn't just survive, you grew. You became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. That's not a coincidence. As a chosen one, your soul is wired to transmute darkness into light. Every challenge you face, every shadow that tries to consume you, is an opportunity for you to rise. And when you rise, you don't just lift yourself, you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. But let's go deeper. Why does your power dominate darkness? The answer lies in your energy. Everything in this universe operates on energy, and your energy as a chosen one is unlike anything else. You vibrate at a frequency that is inherently higher than fear, doubt, or negativity. It's like trying to mix oil and water. They simply can't coexist. When you fully step into your power, you create an energetic field around you that repels darkness. It can't touch you because it literally can't exist in the same space as your light. But here's the thing: your light doesn't just repel darkness, it transforms it. Imagine walking into a dark room with a lit candle. The darkness doesn't fight the light, it simply disappears. That's your power. You don't need to fight shadows, argue with them, or prove yourself to them. You just need to shine. Your very presence is enough to shift the energy around you. And the more you embrace this truth, the more unstoppable you become. Now, let me ask you something: what holds you back from stepping fully into your light? Is it fear? Doubt? The belief that you're not ready or not worthy? These are the whispers of darkness, trying to convince you to dim yourself. But here's the truth: you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to have all the answers or be fearless. Your power doesn't come from your perfection, it comes from your authenticity. It comes from your willingness to show up, even when it's hard, to keep shining, even when the world feels heavy. One of the most profound lessons you'll learn as a chosen one is that you don't dominate darkness by fighting it. That's what it wants to pull you into its vibration, to make you react, to make you doubt yourself. But true power doesn't react. True power holds its ground. It stands firm in its light, knowing that darkness can only exist in the absence of light. So the next time you feel the weight of fear or negativity pressing down on you, pause, breathe, and remember you are not here to fight the darkness. You are here to transform it. But transformation starts within. It starts with you recognizing the shadows in your own mind, the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs, and choosing to face them with love instead of resistance. Because here's the paradox: darkness isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It shows up in your life not to defeat you, but to help you grow. Every time you overcome a shadow, you step closer to your true self. You become more anchored in your light, more aligned with your purpose. So what is your purpose? That's the question only you can answer. But let me give you a hint. It's not about saving the world in some grand, dramatic way. It's about embodying your light in the everyday moments. It's about choosing love over fear, truth over illusion, and courage over comfort. It's about being so grounded in your power that nothing, no shadow, no doubt, no dark force can shake you. The unshakable flame, how to strengthen your light against darkness. Let's take this deeper. You already know you're a chosen one, and you've begun to understand the immense power of your light. But here's the reality: being powerful doesn't mean you'll never face resistance. In fact, the brighter you shine, the more the darkness will try to test you. It doesn't do this because it can overcome you, it does this because it's afraid of you. Darkness fears your light because it knows what you're capable of. But here's the secret you need to embrace: no matter how hard the shadows try, they can never extinguish your flame. The only thing they can do is try to make you doubt it. And if you hold firm, if you strengthen your connection to your light, you become truly unshakable. So how do you strengthen your light? How do you ensure that no shadow, no dark force, no fear can ever dim what you carry within you? The first step is understanding that your light doesn't come from outside of you. It's not something you earn or achieve. It's not something anyone can give you or take away from you. Your light is your essence. It's who you are at your core. And the only thing that can weaken it is forgetting that truth. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how often do I let the outside world determine how I feel about myself? How often do I let someone's words, actions, or energy pull me into doubt, fear, or anger? This is where darkness tries to gain a foothold, not by overpowering you, but by distracting you. It wants you to forget your light. It wants you to believe that your worth is tied to external things: success, approval, validation. But the truth is, your light doesn't need anyone's permission to shine. It simply is. To strengthen your light, you have to return to it again and again. And the most powerful way to do this is through stillness. In a world that constantly demands your attention, stillness is a revolutionary act. It's in those quiet moments when you step away from the noise, the chaos, the distractions, that you can hear the voice of your soul. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, prayer, or simply sitting in silence, stillness reconnects you to your essence. And the more you cultivate this connection, the stronger your light becomes. But let's be real, staying connected to your light isn't always easy. Life will throw challenges at you. You'll face moments of doubt, fear, and even despair. And that's okay. Being unshakable doesn't mean you never feel those things. It means you don't let them define you. It means you acknowledge the fear, the doubt, the darkness, and then choose to return to your light anyway. Because here's the truth, every time you overcome a challenge, your light grows stronger. Every time you choose faith over fear, love over anger, and truth over illusion, you anchor yourself more deeply in your power. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly trusted yourself? Not your mind, not your ego, but the deepest part of you, the part that knows, without a shadow of a doubt, who you are. That trust is the foundation of your power. Without it, your light wavers. But when you trust yourself, when you trust your soul, you become unstoppable. Because no matter what the outside world throws at you, you know that everything you need is already within you. One of the greatest challenges you'll face as a chosen one is the temptation to dim your light to fit in. It's natural to want to be accepted, to feel like you belong. But here's the thing, you weren't chosen to fit in. You were chosen to stand out. Your light isn't meant to blend into the background, it's meant to illuminate the darkness. And yes, some people will be uncomfortable with that. Some will try to pull you down, not because they're evil, but because your light forces them to confront their own shadows. But that's not your burden to carry. Your only responsibility is to stay true to yourself. To do that, you need boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges. They protect your energy while still allowing you to connect with others in a healthy way. When you set boundaries, you're not being selfish or unkind. You're honoring your light. You're saying, my energy is sacred, and I won't allow anything or anyone to dim it. And when you protect your light, you give others permission to do the same. Another key to strengthening your light is gratitude. Gratitude is like fuel for your soul. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It reminds you of all the ways the universe is supporting you, even in the midst of challenges. When you wake up in the morning, take a moment to say thank you for your breath, your body, your life. When darkness tries to creep in, look for the lesson, the growth, the hidden blessing. Gratitude doesn't ignore the shadows, it transforms them. But perhaps the most powerful way to strengthen your light is to share it. Light doesn't diminish when it's shared, it multiplies. Every time you choose kindness, every time you offer love, every time you act from a place of authenticity, you amplify your light. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. So the next time darkness tries to test you, remember this: you don't need to fight it. You don't need to prove yourself to it. All you need to do is stand in your light. Because when you do, darkness has no choice but to fade. The infinite horizon, embodying your power to transform yourself and others, know that you've begun to recognize the depth of your light and the unshakable power you hold. It's time to take an even bolder step, embodying that power fully. You see, having light and knowing your light are only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you live it, breathe it, and let it guide every facet of your life. When you embody your power, you don't just transform yourself, you become a catalyst for change in others. Your energy, your presence, your very existence begins to ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never even see. But how do you step into this level of power without fear or hesitation? How do you move beyond the concept of light into the practice of it? It begins with a choice. Every single day you are faced with countless small choices that determine how you show up in the world. Do you choose love or do you choose fear? Do you stand in your truth or do you shrink to make others comfortable? These choices might seem insignificant in the moment, but they are the building blocks of your reality. Over time, they shape your energy, your life, and your destiny. To embody your power, you must commit fully and unapologetically to choosing your light in every moment, no matter how difficult it may feel. Ask yourself this: what would my life look like if I stopped holding back? If I stopped second-guessing myself, stopped dimming my light, and stopped apologizing for who I am? Sit with that question for a moment. Let it sink in, because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you're meant to live is the belief that you're not ready. But here's the secret: you'll never feel ready. There will never be a perfect moment when everything aligns and all the fear disappears. What you're waiting for is already here. The light within you is ready now. The only question is, will you let it lead? To embody your power, you must go beyond the surface. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts or saying the right affirmations. It's about aligning every part of your being, your mind, your heart, your actions with the truth of who you are. This requires courage. It requires you to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, the shadows that still linger in the corners of your mind. But here's the thing: those shadows aren't there to hold you back. They're there to teach you, to show you where you've been giving your power away. Every time you confront a shadow, whether it's a limiting belief, a fear, or an old wound, you reclaim a piece of your power. You integrate it back into the whole of who you are. And in doing so, you become stronger, brighter, and more aligned with your purpose. So don't run from your shadows. Don't judge them or try to push them away. Invite them in. Sit with them. Ask them what they're here to teach you. And then let them go, knowing that they no longer define you. As you do this inner work, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your outer reality shifts. The energy you carry within you starts to attract new experiences, new opportunities, and new connections that align with your light. You become a magnet for the very things you once thought were out of reach. This isn't magic, it's alignment. When you step into your power, the universe responds in kind. It begins to reflect back to you the truth of who you are. But here's where the real magic lies: as you transform, you naturally inspire others to do the same. You don't need to preach, teach, or convince anyone of anything. Your energy speaks louder than words ever could. When people see you standing in your light unapologetically, authentically, they begin to wonder, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Your light gives them permission to step into their own. Think about this: how many lives could you touch simply by being yourself? How many people could you inspire just by living in alignment with your truth? You may never know the full impact of your light, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. Every act of courage, every moment of authenticity, every choice to love instead of fear sends ripples into the world. And those ripples have the power to create waves of transformation far beyond what you can see. So, what's holding you back? What's keeping you from stepping fully into your power and letting your light shine without limits? Whatever it is, know this: you don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. You don't have to be fearless or perfect. You just have to take the next step, and then the next, trusting that your light will guide the way. When you embody your power, you become more than just a chosen one. You become a beacon. You become a living example of what's possible when someone chooses to rise above fear and embrace their light. And in doing so, you don't just transform yourself, you transform the world. Eternal radiance, living as a chosen one in a world that needs your light. Now that you've awakened to the truth of your power and begun the process of embodying it, the final step is learning how to sustain it. Because here's the reality: the world will always test you. It will challenge your resolve, question your light, and sometimes even try to pull you back into the shadows. But the difference now is that you know who you are. You've felt the depth of your light, the unshakable core of your being. And with this awareness, you can navigate anything the world throws at you, not just as a survivor, but as a creator, a force of transformation, a chosen one who walks with purpose and clarity. The key to sustaining your light is understanding that it's not something you turn on and off, it's something you live. It's a practice, a lifestyle, a way of being. And like anything worth cultivating, It requires care, attention, and consistency. You don't just wake up one day and stay aligned forever. Life will inevitably pull you in different directions, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to return to your center again and again, no matter how many times you stray. This isn't failure, it's growth. Every time you find your way back to your light, you strengthen it. You deepen your connection to it. And you learn more about who you are and why you're here. Let me ask you something. How do you nourish your light? What do you do each day to connect with your soul, to ground yourself in your truth, to keep your energy clear and vibrant? If you're not sure, that's okay. But this is where your power truly lies, in the choices you make every single day. Do you take time to be still, to listen to the quiet voice within you? Do you surround yourself with people, places, and practices that uplift and inspire you? Or do you let the noise of the world drown out your inner knowing? These questions aren't meant to judge you, they're meant to remind you that your light isn't something that exists passively. It's something you actively cultivate. One of the most powerful ways to sustain your light is to stay connected to your why. Why are you here? Why does your light matter? Why did your soul choose this path? When you're clear on your purpose, it becomes much harder for the distractions of the world to pull you off course. Your why anchors you. It gives meaning to your challenges and clarity to your choices. And it reminds you that your light isn't just for you, it's for the world. Every time you choose to shine, you're contributing to something much greater than yourself. You're adding to the collective light of humanity, helping to balance the scales in a world that often feels overwhelmed by darkness. But let's be real, there will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or even lost. Days when the weight of the world feels too heavy and your light feels dim. On those days, remember this: your light doesn't disappear just because you can't feel it. It's always there, even in your darkest moments. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply rest. Rest isn't weakness, it's renewal. It's an act of love for yourself and your mission. So give yourself permission to pause when you need to breathe, to reconnect. And then, when you're ready, rise again. Another key to living as a chosen one is humility. Your light is powerful, yes, but it's not about ego. It's not about being better than anyone else or proving anything to the world. It's about service. It's about using your light to uplift, inspire, and heal, not from a place of superiority, but from a place of love. Because here's the truth: everyone has light within them. Some have simply forgotten it. And part of your role as a chosen one is to be a reminder, not by forcing your light on others, but by living it so fully, so authentically, that it naturally sparks something in them. You don't need to save anyone, your light will do the work for you, simply by being. So how do you carry this light into a world that can sometimes feel so heavy? By staying grounded, by staying grounded, by staying present, by choosing moment by moment to align with love instead of fear. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Every time you choose love, every time you act from a place of authenticity and compassion, you're contributing to the healing of the world. And that's no small thing. Your light may feel small at times, but its impact is immeasurable. You may never fully see the waves you create, but trust that they are there, rippling outward in ways you can't even imagine. To live as a chosen one is to live with courage. It's to stand in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. It's to keep shining, even when the world tries to dim you. And it's to trust that no matter how dark it gets, your light is enough. Because the truth is, darkness isn't the opposite of light, it's the absence of it. And as long as you continue to shine, darkness can never overcome you. So here's the final question I'll leave you with: what will you choose? Will you choose to shrink, to doubt, to let the weight of the world dim your light? Or will you choose to rise, to shine, to live as the chosen one you were born to be? The choice is yours, and the world is waiting for your answer.